day at Evergreen Cooperative Laundry begins with our drivers leaving the plant about 6 a.m. in the morning and traveling to our customer sites where they pick up the soiled linen from our customers' locations, and the soiled linen is in carts that we provide to the customers. Those carts will return to the soiled area of the laundry and offloaded from the truck. Each truck can hold approximately 18 carts of soiled laundry. Those carts are offloaded into the soiled part of the facility, as you can see here, and once offloaded, each cart is individually weighed to track the weight of the incoming material from all of our customers. Once the carts have been weighed, they're moved into the tip-up device, which tips the cart up, and with the help of one of the workers, the soiled linen is then loaded onto a conveyor that passes in front of several of the workers. The role of the workers at this point is to take the soiled linen and sort it by product type into the red containers by a product of sheets, terry, underpads, blankets, or whatever products are coming from that customer. All of these employees have personal protective gear on, gloved, and robes, and where necessary they're masked, and they've all been immunized to handle this material. Once the material is sorted, it is then transferred onto a conveyor which leads it into the wash side of the product. Depending upon the product, we enter into the formula for washing sheets or underpads or towels or terry or blankets, and if that product code or that formula is automatically fed into the continuous batch washer. The continuous wash cycle lasts 28 minutes from beginning to end, and once completed, the material enters into a press where the material is pressed into packs about 8 inches thick, 40 inches in diameter, and transferred onto a transfer conveyor which loads the material into inline dryers that are part of the continuous process as pictured here. For those garments that are heavily stained or incontinent, they are washed separately in the standalone washer extractors, of which we have 5, and once finished washing, they are loaded onto these standalone dryers which dry the material. Once the material is dry, it's self-unloaded by a worker and then transported to the finishing and folding area of the department. When the material is finished being dried in the 300-pound large inline dryers, they are self-unloaded into blue bags, and the blue bags are identified by product, and they are raised in the air and contained in the air and held there for further processing. The entire up-in-the-air process of bags can hold about 9,000 pounds, which saves us from transporting carts throughout the finishing end of the facility. And you can see the bags pictured here. When the employees are ready for the next batch to be delivered to them, they push a call button, and the bag is automatically delivered and dumped into a cart or a folding area for them to feed into the automatic folding machines. The total productivity needs of this facility are about 96 pounds a man-hour to be cost effective. This facility also contains an automatic ironing and folding process, which is part of the finishing facility. Once completed, the material is loaded into carts. Those carts are then weighed, and all the material that's loaded into the carts have been counted, and those weights and counts comprise a packing slip, which is then returned to the customer with the finished goods. The time in residence of these carts, as you can see the finished carts here, is about 24 hours before it gets back to the customer. So it's in one day and out the next for delivery to our customer. Once the material is folded, and all the folding machines have counters on them, the material is loaded into carts that have been cleaned and disinfected in our process, and then weighed, and the weight and the piece count comprise a packing slip that is made up for each customer and each cart that we return to each customer. Those carts, as you can see here, are being moved to another scale in the facility where we weigh the finished goods going out. We weigh coming in as soiled, we weigh going out as clean dry, and we charge our customers on a clean dry weight. And usually the difference in soiled coming in and clean dry going out is about 9%, 9 to 10%. And that's pretty much the industry standard. So we take the carts, cover them with the clean carts, cover them with a plastic wrap and move them onto the trucks for delivery back to the customer. Maintenance is provided at the facility by on-site maintenance employees that have been certified to operate boilers and also have been factory trained to maintain the equipment both from the wash side and the folding and finishing side. They have a lot of experience and also maintain the standby portable generator that we have. In this picture you see the air compressor, which we have located on site in the boiler room. They do all the transfer of chemicals, and the chemicals that are fed into the wash cycle are transferred by them and offloaded by them. And our uptime is remarkably high for a facility that's as challenging as this facility is. There are four basic elements that differentiate us from our competitors. Number one is the water that we take out of the ground comes in about 45 degrees to us. And we take that water and preheat it up to 95 degrees using waste heat out of the water that we've already used in the process. Then to get to 150 degrees, which is our target operating temperature, we only use raw energy to go from 95 degrees to 150 rather than use raw energy to go from 45 degrees to 150 degrees. The next component is using the continuous batch washer that we have in our facility. We use 0.8 of a gallon of water to process 1 pound of linen, compared and contrasted to a typical washer extract that uses 5 gallons of water per pound of linen. So there's a lot less water that needs to be heated, and there's a lot less water used in the process, and substantially less water being put down the sewer. The third component is air from outside is also heated using waste heat from our dryers up to a temperature about 100 degrees, so that when you're drying it at about 150 or 160 degrees, you only have to use raw energy to go from 100 to 160. And then finally, the fourth component is in the ironing process. Rather than use steam to iron the sheets and pillowcases, we have oil inside large 52 diameter rolls that we heat to oil up to 350 degrees and pass the sheets and pillowcases between the rolls and the plate that irons the sheets and dries them at the same time. So it's much more cost effective, and we don't have a steam sauna in the facility. That also enabled us to downsize our boiler requirements and save considerable money in the build out of the laundry.